Thanks for checking out this video. So let's go ahead and talk about what is coming to Shudder for January 2025. And I can't believe we're going into 2025 already. Time just flies. And just so people know, since we're at the end of 2024 at the moment, I will be putting out a video of my top 2024 horror releases, probably within the next week or so. It's definitely going to come out before the year is over. So yeah, look for that if you are interested. And actually, I looked ahead at this list of what's coming to Shudder for January. One of the films that's coming is going to be on my list if it's large enough, because I'm thinking about doing not just top 10 but maybe top 15 or top 20. Someone had requested 20, so we'll see. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what's coming to Shudder. For the first ones I'm going over will be their exclusive and original shows and movies. For those if people don't know, I do no spoiler reviews that I put out the Monday of the week that they come out, because they're always coming out on Fridays now. So you can always come to my channel on a Monday to see a no spoiler review for what's going to be dropped on Shudder on that Friday for their exclusives and originals. So anyway, their first one is called Getaway. It's a Shudder original film coming January 10th. The Smith family's much needed vacation to the remote Swedish island of Svalta takes a dark turn when they arrived during preparations for a mysterious local festival that celebrates a dark history. Sounds kind of like Wicker Man. Unsettled by the unfriendly locals and strange rituals, they try to make the best of their trip, stubbornly enjoying the island's isolation and natural beauty. However, as the festival looms closer, the family realizes something far more sinister is unfolding, especially when they discover that a serial killer is on the loose. Now, I think this is supposed to be a comedy, too. It has Nick Frost in it, and I think he's a writer on it as well. So, could be good. We'll see. The next one, excuse me, got a hair on there. The next one is a Shudder original coming January 24th. This is called Grafted. I've heard about this one already, actually, and I've heard some pretty decent things. Chinese scholarship student Wei travels to New Zealand to study medical research at a prestigious university. Shy, introverted, and hiding a genetic facial birthmark, Wei is shunned by her social butterfly cousin Angela and her glamorous friends. Determined to change her fate, Wei immerses herself in her late father's research, working on a revolutionary skin grafting procedure that could cure her deformity. As her experiments take a dark turn, she becomes more dangerous and unhinged, willing to eliminate anyone who threatens her secret. Sounds like we're playing with some body horror with that one, so it sounds interesting. I'm interested in that one. And then the last of the films coming for Shudder is Dark Match. This is a Shudder original coming January 31st. It's directed by Lowell Dean, by the way, who did the film Die Alone this year, which I do recommend. I think that's a pretty good film. It also did Wolf Cop and Another Wolf Cop, if you're familiar with those. So anyway, Dark Match. A small-time wrestling company accepts a well-paying but too good to be true gig in a backwoods town, only to learn too late that the community is run by a mysterious cult leader, and their event is now a pay-per-view fight to the death. That actually sounds very fun. I'm into that. That sounds great. And then the other thing coming is they're going to be continuing the Horror's Greatest Season 2, which is starting at the very end of December. So just so people know, Horror's Greatest was, 5 different topics. It'll be 5 episodes. If you saw Season 1 that started in the end of September, you'll know what it's about, and it's phenomenal. I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. But they have animal attacks, killer dates, hidden gems, film scores, and space horror. So that's what's coming up there. And then let's get to a few of the other films. They've started doing this thing where they're just putting like highlighted films up top as well. So here's one of their highlighted films. It's dropping on January 1st. The Others. In 1945, immediately following the end of the Second World War, a woman who lives with her 2 photosensitive children on her darkened old family estate in the Channel Islands becomes convinced that her home is haunted. That is a great film. If you've never seen it, definitely recommend. The next one is coming January 14th, and this is the film I was talking about that I think is a phenomenal film from 2024. Red Rooms. I already have a review out for it. You can find it on my channel because I had rented it from Fandango at home. Kellyanne wakes up every morning by the courthouse to secure a seat at the high profile trial of Ludovic Chevalier, a serial killer she is obsessed with. As days go by, the young woman bonds with another groupie, which momentarily breaks her out of her loneliness. But as the proceedings drag on and she spends more time in the courtroom with the victims' families, Kellyanne finds it increasingly difficult to maintain her psychological balance and assume her morbid fixation with the killer. She will then do whatever it takes to get her hands on the final piece of the puzzle, the missing video of a murdered 13-year-old girl to whom Kellyanne bears a disturbing resemblance. It is very good. Trust me. It is subtitled, though. Some people would want to know that. It is in French. It's a French-Canadian film. I think it was shot in Quebec. So, yeah, it's in subtitles. So, know that. Another one they're highlighting, The Wolfman. It says coming December 1st on here. I need to check this, but I'm assuming January 1st. Upon his return to his father's estate, aristocrat Larry Talbot meets a beautiful woman, attends a mystical carnival, and uncovers a horrifying curse. Yeah, it's the original Wolfman. Then they're doing January 1st, Irreversible the Straight Cut. This would be the way to see it, I think. I don't recommend the film Irreversible, by the way. I don't like the film for many reasons. This reconfigured and now chronological version allows audiences to see the events of the film unfold in order, providing pivotal new context. I do think if you want to watch it, that would be an interesting way to watch it, so go ahead. I just don't recommend it for a lot of reasons. My personal thing. So they are still doing every Friday night watch parties, where they'll show like a live double feature, and I guess people can kind of interact online. And these are the ones they're going to be having. Friday, January 3rd, Witchy Party. It's going to be in Pedagore and Hellbender. Hellbender's pretty good, and Pedagore is great, so I recommend that one. And Pedagore's a Yoko Anwar film. Friday, January 10th, Nick Frost Watch Party. It's going to be Getaway, which obviously I don't know how that one is. And Black Cab. That one is a big-time stinker, so might not be the greatest. Then January 17th, which is also a Friday, Werewolves Watch Party. They're going to do Werewolves Within and Teddy. That's a great double feature right there. Well, Werewolves Within, very funny, very fun. And Teddy is a really cool, interesting French werewolf film. And then the last one they're doing is Friday, January 24th. They're calling it New Year, New You, Grafted and Sissy. So obviously I don't know how Grafted is yet, but Sissy is actually a quite good low-budget slasher film. I do recommend that. I think that came out 2023. I did quite like it. All right, so what are all the other things that they're adding? January 1st, obviously Irreversible, Wolfman. Wolfman 2010 they're going to be adding in addition to the original Wolfman. Malum, I do recommend Malum. Malum's pretty good. A rookie police officer willingly takes the last shift at a newly decommissioned police station in an attempt to uncover the mysterious connection between her father's death and a vicious cult. I believe that's a retelling of the Night Shift film, which a lot of people seem to like. Malum was good. I was surprised with it. Then also on the first, Mind, Body, Spirit, which I don't think my review for this one's come out, but I thought it was okay. It's a found footage film. An aspiring yoga influencer embarks on a ritual practice left behind by her estranged grandmother. And disclaimer, I'm not a found footage fan. So, the next one is Invoking Yell. Set in 1990s, the story of three 20-something women who venture into the woods to shoot a demo tape for their black metal band. Interesting. Then Beaten to Death. A desperate choice leads Jack down a path that leaves him beaten and bruised as he struggles against man, nature, and his own sanity. And then The Thing. We all know it. A research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. That was on Shudder very recently. I think maybe for October. It was like September or October, one of those. But obviously, amazing film. Potentially the best horror film that came out in the 80s. Just saying. January 6th, the following three films. Them. The frightening home invasion gem from a director of Shudder's Mads. The story is centered on Lucas and Clementine as they live peacefully in their isolated country house. But one night they wake up to a strange noise. They're not alone, and a group of hooded assailants begin to terrorize them throughout the night. I think this is like the third time they're re-adding this film to Shudder in the past 2 years, probably. It is good though. If you like The Strangers, this is actually the kind of starting premise for the movie The Strangers. They literally took it from this film. Um, so if you like The Strangers, I think you would like this. I actually think it's quite a lot better than The Strangers. Just my opinion. Then the film The Righteous. A burdened man feels the wrath of a vengeful God after he and his wife are visited by a mysterious stranger. Okay. And then Two Witches. An aging malevolent witch intercedes in the lives of two young women. That is very vague. All right, then the following 5 films are coming January 13th. Curtains. If you have not seen Curtains, make sure you see it, especially if you're a slasher fan. It is fun. 6 young actresses auditioning for a movie role at a remote mansion are targeted by a mysterious masked murderer. Yes, yes, yes. It's a good time. Check out Curtains. The Kindred. A geneticist takes his assistants to his old family home to locate the deadly product of his late mother's revolutionary research into rapid human evolution, his monstrous tentacled baby brother, before a mad scientist gets to him first. I've heard good things about The Kindred. I do need to check that one out. But let me know. Put it in the comments if you think I should pass on that one or watch it. Then we have Black Circle. The lives of two sisters change dramatically since they were hypnotized by a mystical vinyl record from the 1970s. Sounds like an interesting premise. The Oracle. A spirit reaches out from beyond the grave in an attempt to contact a young woman to help it avenge its murder. And then the last one coming on January 13th, Crocodile. 8 college students board a houseboat for their spring vacation that promises to be the best of their young lives. How many will survive? I will probably watch that because I'm big on creature features, especially big on Jaws ripoff films, and it sounds like maybe that's a Jaws ripoff film. And then the final film, and it's coming on January 27th, is one I've heard really good things about, actually. The Vortilac. Excuse me. Lost in a hostile forest, the Marquis de Urf. I don't think I did that right. Sorry. A noble emissary of the King of France finds refuge in the home of a strange family. It's like a vampire type thing from what I understand, but I've heard very good things about it, so might want to check that one out. So that's everything coming to Shudder, so let me know, is there anything you're actually particularly interested in? Is there anything you highly recommend I make sure I check out or stay away from? I'm always looking for both of those recommendations, so go ahead and put that down there. Also, give me a little bit of help. Subscribe to my channel to support me. If you want to support me a little bit monetarily, you can also do that. I have a link in the description for my memberships, and you get perks for that. So you can see if you click on the description what perks you would get for what tier level. I only have 2 tiers, Peeping Tom and the Tenant. And yeah, I think it's pretty fair, pretty low price. But anyway, thumbs up on the video would help me out with that YouTube algorithm, and you can hit the notification bell button if you want to know when I'm putting up new videos. But regardless, thank you so much for your time watching this, and until next time, keep it brutal.